Now is the time when we get the effects part of After Effects. Effects are in essence additional settings you can apply to layers to help achieve a specific look or style. Let's jump right into our project and apply a few effects to visually spice things up a bit. Let's start by previewing our animation. Click once in the timeline area to make sure the timeline panel is active. Then press the spacebar to begin playback. If you look at our project, you can see I have a background video layer, a green solid color wash, and then a logo on top of that. I will press the spacebar to stop playback and then press the home key on my keyboard to move the current time indicator back to frame 0. To start, I want the logo to pop off the background a bit. So to do that, I want to blur out the background over time. I want the background to start sharp and then get blurry. So let's select layer 3, which is our background video layer, and apply a blur effect. Go up to the menu bar under Effect, and then you will notice all the effects are grouped according to the kind of the effects. Since we want to apply a blur, let's go to the Blur and Sharpen. Then choose the Fast Box Blur. Notice the effect control panel popped up. If you need to see the project panel, you can just click on the double arrow here and go back to the project panel. Then if you want to bring the effect control back, just click on the word Effect Controls and that will bring that panel forward. Since my current time indicator is on frame 0, let's add a keyframe for the blur radius set to 0. You can do that here in the Effect Control panel, just by clicking the stopwatch to the left of the word Blur Radius. Let's move 2 seconds down the timeline. Now I'm not sure exactly how blurry I want this to be, but I will go back up to my Effect Control panel and scrub on the Blur Radius parameter. Just by clicking and dragging to the right. I really like how this pops up, the setting close to 50. Now I know you are thinking, well, where's my keyframes? I've been applying them and I don't see them in the timeline. To reveal any animated properties in a layer, to make sure that the layer is selected, and then press the U key. And that will show you the animated parameters. Click on the current time indicator and drag back and forth to preview that what this is doing. And you will notice how we have added a nice blur that happens over 2 seconds. As the background layers starts to blur at about 1 second in. This is when I want the logo to actually start to appear. Now to animate the logo, I want to use the effect called the Tyler effect. So I'm going to select layer 1. Since I know the name of the effect I would like to apply, I will go to Effect and Presets panel here on the right of the interface. Click once in the search field and then type the word Tyler. The Distort Filter Tyler pops up. I will click on that filter and drag it and drop it right on top of my logo. Here in the composition panel. When I let go, it's going to take a second. And I know my effects has been applied. I know it's applied to the logo because it is listed on the top. In the top of the effect control panel, effects are also listed in the timeline. If we come to the middle section of the timeline, this area is called the switches section. And whenever you see the letters FX, that's a switch that allows you to toggle the effect on or off for the individual layer. Now let's check out the Tyler effect to see if we can make this logo animation pop a little bit. On the scale parameter in the effect control panel, click and drag to the left and scrub that parameter down to the setting of 0%. Scrub in the effect parameter gives you a good preview as to what you can achieve with that effect. So let's set our scale to a setting of 0. Click on the stopwatch to add a keyframe. Now let's move about 2 seconds down the timeline. I'll click down here since I wasn't exactly on 1 second. Just highlight the number. I will type 200. When I press enter, notice it moved my exactly 2 seconds down the timeline. Now let's change the scale setting of our Tyler effect up to 100% and press enter. To preview our animation, we can actually go to the preview panel here and click the leftmost button. To move the current time indicator back to the beginning of the timeline, and then press play button and play things back. To apply effect, we have definitely spiced things up a little. So if you note that effect you are going to apply, you can always search for the effect by name in the effect and preset panel. And if you are ever not quite sure what the effect might look like, go ahead and apply it to a layer. Scrub in the effect control panel to preview the effect.